Extreme weather has become more and more common every year. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, reported that 2020 was the seventh consecutive year with almost 20 separate weather and climate disaster events that exceeded $1 billion in damage and loss. Some of Mother Nature's most extreme and rare moments are caught on camera, such as a volcano suddenly erupting next to a group of hikers to a powerful flash flood washing over a road. Here's our count of the most destructive weather moments caught on camera. Tornadoes. Natural disasters have a weird allure to them. When you see them, you know it's likely doing a ton of damage, but you can't help but stare at them as it has some sort of haunting beauty to them. Tornadoes fit perfectly into this category, as they are one of the most destructive disasters. The most dangerous aspect of a tornado is the updraft, or the force that lifts upward inside the funnel cloud. This force can lift vehicles, houses, trees, and other large items or structures and move them hundreds of feet away. Tornadoes are destructive, yet you can't look away when you get to see one. When a tornado's position on the horizon doesn't move, yet it keeps getting bigger, this means it is coming for you. That is the exact situation a man found during the Andover tornado. On April 29, 2022, a powerful tornado ripped through the Andover town of the United States Midwestern state of Kansas, bringing back haunting memories of the dramatic events that played out during the same week 31 years ago. Several videos captured by storm chasers and ordinary citizens documenting the wrath of the EF3 rated tornado have emerged in its wake. One such video that has appeared on Reddit shows how a violently rotating column of air looming at a distance closed in on the person filming it and ripped the fence of his backyard apart. In the video, the camera starts shaking as the wind ripped through his yards, carrying everything away. The wind was deafening and ferocious. A preliminary study conducted by the National Weather Service estimates that more than 1,000 buildings were destroyed by the tornado that touched down on Andover for 21 minutes as wind speeds clocked a formidable high of 249.4 kilometers per hour. The tornado in Andover, a city of nearly 15,000 outside Wichita, uprooted trees, heaved cars into buildings, and ripped through houses and power lines. No fatalities stemming directly from the impact were reported by the authorities, but up to 1,000 structures in Andover were affected by the tornado. Typhoon Fatao. China is no stranger to extreme weather. A study says, on average, about 7 or 8 typhoons hit China per year. Back in 2013, one of the worst typhoons in China's history struck the country. Typhoon Fatao, named after a flower, rocked China's east coast early on October 6, 2013, packing winds of more than 200 kilometers per hour, killing at least 10 people and impacting 3 million. A couple of months before this typhoon, a photographer in Zhejiang province captured the moment a monstrous wave crashed into a group of buildings. The picture was taken in July, and only 3 months later, the devastating typhoon struck the region. Electricity was cut in towns and counties in Zhejiang province, and high-speed rail services were suspended. The typhoon dumped torrential rain across the southeast seaboard, with rainfall of up to 29 centimeters in some parts, driven by gusty winds along with monstrous waves, just like the photo. Footage captured by the locals showed the exact moment the waves crashed into the land, flooding the streets and homes nearby. According to the local news, the typhoon broadcasted up to 75 miles or roughly 120 kilometers per hour, which cut the power supplies of several areas, disrupted public transportation, and damaged properties. 2 men died in Zhejiang province, while 3 people died of electric shocks. Bushfires. Australia is no stranger to bushfires. However, the 2019 to 2020 season proved to be unprecedented in many ways. The first major bushfires began even before the official arriving of spring in June, and then new out-of-control fires sprung up at the beginning of September 2019. The fire situation worsened significantly at the beginning of November 2019 with increasing temperatures and a prolonged drought. In mid-January 2020, a wave of heavy rain finally brought relief in some areas hit by bushfires, but was nowhere near sufficient to extinguish the fires. On February 3, 2020, local media reported that the Kangaroo Island fires had been started by lightning. Hotter temperatures, drought, and high winds escalated the crisis again over the first weekend in February. In mid-February, an extremely heavy rainstorm allowed firefighters to contain all of the fires in New South Wales, although fires continued to burn in Victoria. All of the fires were either extinguished or contained by March 4, 2020, 9 months after the first ones began to burn. The bushfires burned more than 46 million acres. At least 3,500 homes and thousands of other buildings were lost, and 34 people died in the thousands of fires between September 2019 and March 2020. Many videos are surfacing the internet regarding this fire. One video that has gone viral is one shared by the New South Wales Fire and Rescue Department that shows a rescue vehicle surrounded by fire. The viral video shows personnel being forced to take shelter in the truck to escape the raging fires. Landslides. Back in June 2020, locals of Batangas, Indonesia, noticed the first sign of a possible landslide. Cracks were beginning to appear in the roads, and the deep rumbling of the earth moving could be heard with little time to act. At that moment, a local took out his phone and began filming at the moment the total hillslide gave way. Due to geographic reasons, Indonesia is a country very prone to landslides. It is assumed that heavy rain has been affecting Java Island, particularly West Java Province, triggering landslides that have resulted in casualties and damage. According to the ASEAN Coordinating Center for Humanitarian Assistance on Disaster Management, 10,560 people have been affected due to the overflow of several rivers in the Asahan Regency and Semalagan Regency. Local authorities of Tasikmalaya Regency are conducting damage assessment, dispatching help, and evacuations for those affected. On June 22nd to 23rd, heavy rain with isolated thunderstorms occurred across the affected provinces. In 2021, around 1.3 thousand landslides were occurring in Indonesia, up from 577 in 2020. Several reasons are behind this, and it is likely many more will occur as time takes on. Mudslides. A mudslide is a mass of mud moving suddenly and quickly down a steep slope, occasionally happening due to a flood or heavy rainfall. In August 2018, a huge hailstorm happened in a small village in Switzerland named Champson. After the hailstorm had rolled through and pummeled the town, a huge mudslide followed through. Residents reported hearing a huge rumbling noise just before the mudslide. The huge mudslide was triggered by an overflowing flood caused by heavy storms that struck the village of Grunier in Switzerland on the night before August 7th. Fortunately, no injuries were reported as the slide provoked only material damage, mostly concerning cars and houses. Swiss media reported that the incident started in a stream just above the village of Grunier. The citizens that did not panic opened the road for the debris mass to follow its route downstream. According to local radio station Rhône FM, some buildings were evacuated and 2 roads leading to the villages of Mayence de Chamasson and Obrones were also closed. Volcanoes. The country of Indonesia is filled with a staggering number of volcanoes. They are all located along the Pacific Ring of Fire and threaten the life of roughly 5 million people living in the region. Of the 1,470 volcanoes located in the country, the most active of them all is Mount Merapi. On December 4, 2021, Mount Semeru volcano in Lumajang Regency, East Java Province, had its largest eruption in recent history and produced a hot cloud avalanche with volcanic materials and heavy ashfall. Videos of the eruption took the internet by storm. The government reported 34 people killed, 17 people unaccounted for, and 5,205 people directly affected, including some 3,697 people who are displaced within the Regency. The eruption damaged 2,970 houses and affected 24 schools and 3,888 students. The government prohibited any human activity within a 1-kilometer radius from the volcano and 5 kilometers in a south-southeasterly direction. The local government of Lumajang directed a 30-day emergency response period and established a command post. Deep layers of ash engulfed the area and rescue operations. The Semeru volcano on the tallest mountain of Java Island erupted on that Saturday, spewing towers of ash and hot clouds. Soon after, people in the country's East Java province panicked and fled for their lives. The eruption was accompanied by a thunderstorm and rain, which pushed lava and smoldering debris and formed thick mud that destroyed at least one bridge connecting the two main villages of Pronojiwo and Kandipuro. Which event did you find most terrifying? Let us know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.